Ahead on American Sunrise, now that the government is back open, what are some of the top agenda items for Congress leading up to the January 30th funding deadline? South Carolina Congressman Ralph Norman standing by with a view from the Capitol. Plus, the House is slated to vote on pushing the Department of Justice to release everything it has on the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. We have the latest breaking details. And then later, the Trump administration has announced a brand new strike on suspected drug boats headed to America. How effective have these strikes been so far? Those stories and so much more right now on American Sunrise.
Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
We have breaking news to share with you.
politics,
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
we've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrence.
And I'm Dr. Gina. All right, good morning, everybody. I am Dr. Gina. We are live with you from the Palm Beaches. Let's bring in Emily Finn, who is with me here in West Palm Beach, and Terrence Bates in our Denver newsroom. Good morning, both of you. Can't say good morning, gentlemen, like is the habit. That would be completely rude to our pretty little Emily sitting over there.
Yeah, no gentlemen over here. This is not woke. I am not transgender, Gina.
That's right. That's right.
She knows exactly who she is and what she is. Ladies, good morning to both of you. I'm the luckiest guy on TV this morning. I get to sit in between the two of you guys. So good to see, well, two of you ladies. See, look, already messing up. I said two of you guys. I can't say that anymore. Two ladies, good morning. Hey guys, so look, want to bring your attention to this Telegraph headline, which reads, BBC Newsnight also doctored Trump's speech. The report basically says that BBC show Newsnight made a different edit of a J6 speech. We, of course, know that the BBC has been found guilty of doing this on other things, and some people have lost their jobs as a result. The BBC now apologizing for the first edit from the documentary, and ultimately will be apologizing for this as well. But unfortunately, Dr. Gina, that's part of the culture these days. Bash President Trump, do whatever possible, ethically or legally, to try to circumvent him, to try to undercut him.
Yeah, that has been their MO. And the good thing, so that people, there's some interesting cultural things here. I've spent a little time in the UK and have a lot of friends there. My daughter lived there for a while. And I'm in very close touch with the people over at GB News, which is a competitor of BBC. They're newer on the scene. Think Fox, I don't know, like 1998-ish, right? That's what's going on there. But this is what I always talk about on this show, Emily, is the parallel economy. And because the BBC has become so corrupt, Emily, the nice thing is that there are others rising up. It doesn't hurt that there's independent media out there in general, social media and all the rest, doing the reporting and doing the job that the BBC doesn't seem to want to do, honestly and truly. And so there have been some others coming up. So it's kind of exciting times. It's kind of a new frontier in the UK for people to be looking to other places for their news.
Gina, I'll say it's certainly impressive to see President Trump taking down the mainstream media even across the pond at the BBC. It is truly incredible. I was actually pretty shocked at their apology. But, you know, the corruption, like you said, was just so on display with how they selectively edited all of this about January 6th. And so it's great that, you know, finally people are rising up and holding the BBC accountable here, Terrence.
Yeah, I'm glad there's accountability. It's just a shame that it's gotten to this point. It's a shame that any news network, especially a news network like the BBC, that at one time was the gold standard of what journalism should be. It's a shame that they've fallen so far away from the standards that are, what I consider at least, true journalism. Hopefully we get back to a real standard for all of us in this industry. And I'll just leave it there.
Amen to that.
Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we actually had balanced news? I mean, people are going to have different opinions, but just say, this is my opinion. But it's when they report it as news, when they actually cut up President Trump's speech, that it is so completely unethical and immoral and unprofessional and all the words. Anyway, let's get to today's Bible verse. I think it's time for that. Psalm 34, verse 5, they looked to him and were radiant, and their faces were not ashamed. from the work of the Lord to the work of Congress, members are now trying to hit the ground running after the government shutdown ended. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise saying he wants to rework the schedule to make more time for what happened during the shutdown. And they have a lot of bills they weren't able to bring to the floor last month. Scalise also said members will be working into the evening and 5 days per week instead of the traditional 4 days per week. So for more, let's bring in South Carolina Congressman Ralph Norman. Congressman, I've heard all sorts of ideas for the next time there's a shutdown about what to do about congressional pay. Some people weren't taking paychecks. I know that. Some have said just a per diem, nothing else. Are there ideas floating out there among you who are more honest about the work that you do and expect it to be kind of what it is, which should be really a sacrifice for good Americans to go and serve their country? Are there ideas floating around out there about what happens next time we have a shutdown?
Dr. Gina, thank you and Terrence, thank you all for having me. Yes, there are ideas. And my thought is just like every American who works, if you don't show up for work, you shouldn't get paid. Politicians should be no different. There is a lot of talk that if this happens again, we extended it through January 30th. The 3 bills that were extended through the end of the next year, we've got 8 more bills to consider. But yeah, I think the fact that they could do this again, and if they do it, we'll handle it just like we did. They made a mistake. They now understand it, and the fact that they would do that to the American people, to shut off the pay for policemen, TSA agents, Border Patrol, and all the rest. Politicians should not be getting paid, nor should they get back pay. And that's what my bill does. I've only got 19 co-signers, but it's a new day with what we're facing in Congress. It's a Marxist left Democrat Party now who knows no bounds.
Congressman, I do want to shift. Oh, go ahead, Terrence.
Emily, I'm sorry. Can I just follow up really quickly? I want you to get to your question, but you just said it's a new day and that there are Marxists who are running Congress. I have to ask, and I hope we can have a real honest and open conversation here real quick, Congressman. I kind of consider us friends. Is the foolishness that's happening there on Capitol Hill, is that part of the reason you're saying, look, I'm just going to go home, run for governor, run my own state? Is that part of what inspired you, if you will, to potentially leave Congress if you, in fact, win the gubernatorial race in your state?
No, the only reason I left Congress is because I'm needed in South Carolina. When I saw what could potentially be the successor to take over the number one job, the CEO, I couldn't let it go. I just couldn't. We were doing a great job in Congress. The Freedom Caucus was leading the way, not only on the budget, but on our spending cuts. And the $1.5 trillion, the Freedom Caucus was primarily responsible for that. But no, we just need leadership in South Carolina. Now, what I will do as governor is recruit, because a lot of the members in Congress are radical. A lot of to be honest, the Republican members are lukewarm at best. They need to be replaced. And we're going to have competition at every level. And I'll bring true conservatives to the table, not just in South Carolina, but as I go all over the country and recruit candidates who can get this country back on a firm financial footing. I will do that, and we'll have a conservative government in South Carolina.
Well, you are still in Congress, so I do want to get your take on the Epstein files that have been making headlines lately. A vote is going to take place next week to get the DOJ to release all of the Epstein files. Are you going to vote for this? And I'm hearing more than 100 Republicans, might vote for it along with the Democrats.
Well, it's funny what's happened. Not funny, but it's interesting that they bring all this out on the very day that President Trump and the House signed to open the government back up. They hate this man so much. And the president's all in favor. And I talked to Mike Johnson last night. He wants everything out. James Comer's committee is getting everything, including the flight logs. And you can't hide that. And the Democrats had it for 4 years and did nothing with it. I will tell you, the president is worried about, you reported what happened on the BBC and altering speeches and altering facts. He's worried about the Democrats altering some files that they had on them, like innocent victims that never wanted their name out there. One of them committed suicide. We'll see what what it's in. I will tell you this, from Mike Johnson, he's speeding the vote up, so we'll be voting on it next week. And it's the right thing to do. And we'll see what's in it. James Comer has released another 20-some thousand pages for everybody to see. And I know James is, so what does bother me, this is a stunt by the Democrats to discredit a man who they would never say anything good about.
So ABC News has this headline, which reads, JFK's grandson, Jack Schlossberg, announces 2026 run for Nadler's seat in Congress. That, of course, will be Jerry Nadler. He says the big, beautiful bill led to cost of living crisis, and that Nadler, of course, is retiring, and so that's part of the reason. Is there any conversation amongst you and your colleagues about this particular race?
Yeah, there's talk. You might as well ruin New York, put it under all at one time. Look, that is what's frightening about what's happening in America. You have Marxist communists, as the president calls them, but who wants total government takeover. JFK's grandson, Jack, has never held a real job in his life. He's a trust fund baby. And, really to be in the political arena, you need to have made money, lost money, and have done something. But the socialist mentality has never worked anywhere. And the fact that they're going to basically bury a great city like New York, I guess they'll follow just like the state of California and what they've done to where people are fleeing. And we're going to have to be ready for them when they come to South Carolina, because they're welcome to come. They're not welcome to bring the politics.
Congressman Norman, there's never a dull moment. At least we got that going for us. Lots of news to report all the time and lots of fixing to do in Congress. But we wish you luck with everything you're doing. You're a good friend of the show, and we thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Thanks so much, Congressman.
Thank you.
All righty. Coming up, we check out the hottest headlines from the RAV newsroom with T-Bates. Also later, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth announces strike on suspected drug boats. How effective have these strikes been, and how far will they take them? We have top analysis coming up on American Sunrise.